What's up, guys? How's it going? You can see I'm sitting here by myself right now, waiting for Dusty to call. I don't know where Ron ran off to, but you can do me a favor. Let me know, how is my sound sounding? Do I sound quiet? Do I sound too loud? It's weird because this whole system is kind of funky. Up there's Dusty now. We'll add him in. Put him in over here. And we'll put Ron still in the middle. Yeah, how does that sound, guys? Let me know.
How's what sound?
Oh, I'm talking to the audience. We had to go live already, so we're live. We are live right now. Sounds great. Go. How does Dusty sound compared to me? Dusty, say some words. Say words, Dusty.
Words, smooth, buttery words.
Do I sound louder than Dusty or quieter? Because our mics are always off, and then I have to edit it post-production. I want to take the time and fix it right now since we have the time.
Good enough. Sounds great. Sounds great. They say Dusty sounds better, much more smooth, jazzy. Interesting. Oh, wait, I made that one up. My bad.
Let's go. Yes. Reloading adventure is going good. Dusty, I'm making my own bullets. They can't stop me.
I saw you. I saw that.
They can't stop me.
How very southern of you.
Yeah. Biden can't stop me. Trudeau can't stop me. Nobody can stop me. I'm making bullets. Unstoppable.
Stopped. Where the hell is the middle guy? He's more
I don't know.
Currently.
I don't know. He bailed. He's got a new computer, though.
One off, I can tell.
It might have been it. We did catch him a little bit early.
Morning shot.
A little louder than Dusty. I'd say not too bad at all. Okay. So Ron is usually a little bit... Okay, Scott's louder. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit more here.
Stop shouting, Scott. Maybe that's the key.
That's the thing. I get real excited. I'm like, Dusty's online. I'm excited. And I start projecting.
Well, you were yelling because I was like right on schedule. Basically, It started and I was here.
Yes. Well, you were on schedule for them. Let's see. Audio is good. Scott's a little louder.
20%. Joe gave us an exact amount.
I like that. I like Joe. He's my kind of guy. So I did turn it down a little bit, Joe. And I'm still going in the red here. See, Dusty, I have like this little thing when I talk. We have one of these little things going on.
Now I got somebody rating our attractiveness. You're a 5 out of 5, and I'm a 3.5 out of 5, which is still better than my wife would rate me as attractive. She gave me a 6.1 out of 10. I was like, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not a bad.
It's pretty good. It's pretty, especially coming from her. You know, she's
obviously lying, so that's cool. I'm gonna text Ron like, "Are you taking a?" Well, you know,
we need some elevator music where we just sit here and there's elevator music playing. I could probably drop that in, but then we get like demonetized or something. You know, we'd be like, "Oh, that was
like famous elevator music." Yeah,
right, exactly. You know. Oh, thank you very much. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too, Tyler. We didn't do anything for St. Patrick's Day here.
Are you muted?
What's going on, fellas?
There he is.
Hey, what's going on? What's up?
You know, hanging out.
Fashionably.
Yes.
That's okay. We got to do that once in a while. I got my new laptop hooked up. I'm all excited.
Nice.
Hey, fancy. That was an expensive change.
Whoa, what did you just do?
Whoa.
What did you just do? Did you say boom and it did that?
Say boom again. That was so weird.
Well, no. Maybe I got to do thumbs up and say boom.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to figure out how to turn that off in the future, but for today it's a lot of fun. give us some other ones. Give us like an okay sign. See if that does anything.
Celebration.
Say like F, you know what I'm saying? See what happens.
Yeah, give like the
Maybe
finger
like with one of these.
Yeah, go away.
No, just the thumbs up.
Nothing. Just
but the thumbs up.
With one thumb.
Let's see.
Oh,
it didn't like that.
You have to say boom also.
I don't know. I guess I got to read the manual for this new laptop.
Everything's changed.
Got a gremlin living in it. Okay.
Ron should wear the cowboy hat for being late. I like that one.
Ron's not on an iPhone.
Ron streaming live from Guitar Center, it says.
Oh, look at that. On iPhone, that happens to me all the time.
I've seen that too on iPhones, but not on the computer.
I have no idea how to unlock those. It's like the old video games. You need the cheat codes. You need to know what you got to do to get the backgrounds to pop.
Did you see on our latest reaction video, somebody said, I'm surprised that Ron didn't compare Jay's lower back striations to the starburst on the Gibson Les Paul 68.
Valid points.
Oh, that's funny. I did not see that comment.
It was good.
I
It was
definitely
good.
appreciate that. Okay. Well, I guess it's just bodybuilding, fellas. Hey,
Yes.
we're live.
Boom.
Dusty Hanshaw, the producer, Scott McNally. Yeah. And myself, Big Ron Partlow. Me and Dusty, of course, freshly back from the UK. Arnold, remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Ring the bell.
absolutely. The number one topic in England. Where's Scott?
Where's
Oh, you're kidding me.
Where's Scott?
The disappointment
that
in
would
just
be
seeing
weird.
two of the Three Musketeers was quite
Are
obvious.
you guys telling me Scott didn't come? That was like the theme of the weekend.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That makes me
then-
happy. That makes me
Yeah.
happy. Because England's
And
like
then-
my people. It's like if I lived somewhere else, if I got dishomed, I feel like it would be England that I would move to. Not only England, but it would be Northern England because those are my people up there.
because they
Yes.
speak the same
No.
language? Kinda.
Because
And-
they're not quite right in the head in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they're like,
a little bit busted up. Those
yeah,
Northern
exactly.
England.
We get along.
So imagine my surprise. I didn't really discuss with you what I was doing when I didn't really tell you I was shooting a Mutant on a Mission.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really mention that to you, did I, Scott? I didn't give you the details of what I was up to.
No, you didn't. But I put
Oh,
it together.
Yeah, well-
yeah.
I had a lot going on, right? And then I walk into AW Muscle and Fitness.
Great gym.
Up in Bollington. And because Dusty and I, they're friends of ours, you know, they come to visit us at the booth. Alex and Emily have been asking me to bring the show to their gym for a while, and I was, very politely invited several times. And I walk in and I'm all excited to shoot my episode there, and I look on the wall and there's a picture of you, Scott, with them, like in the gym. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
this is one of the gyms that Scott came to. I just didn't put it all together that was one of the gyms you stopped at on your trip. So you've been there, I've been there. Dusty knows them. Now Dusty's got to go visit. So
Yeah, we all have to go back and get a workout in. I love that place too. It's in like an old mill building. That building is older than all of us put together.
Yeah.
Like right on a canal. That's like that's like northern UK at its finest, right there.
yeah, it's it was cool. It's cool up there. It reminded me a lot of Jamie the Giant's gym just because it's in a similar building. Like
Okay.
Jamie's gym is upstairs in a building that's very much the same to that building, like industrial area, old, like 100-year-old brick, you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it was cool, really cool. But of course, their gym was a lot bigger. It had like an upstairs and all that. It was really, and of course, Sass was there. Sass Harati was there, getting ready for, I think he said Spain in 14 weeks at the time.
He's gonna do it.
And yeah.
Okay. I'd love to see
You
that.
spelled win wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
gonna win
he's
it.
going to win it.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Sass, wow, that guy, he's got it all. He
he's
looked
incredible.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
He looked unbelievable, and he's just casually making a comeback. Like, it's been 6 years, I guess, and he just looks like Jesus. He looks like he couldn't possibly have missed a beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. Great gym. So I just thought I'd mention that, Scott.
That's cool.
Gyms love you.
That's cool. I love them too. And AW Muscle Fitness, those guys, Alex, Emily, those guys are my kind of people. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. And it makes me happy to have been missed. I heard that you interviewed Sam Sulek while you were at the expo.
Yeah, just casually got a little call to fill in for Fuad. I was at the booth. And it was like 11:25 on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And my phone rings, and I look at my phone. It's Paul, and I'm like, "What's Paul calling me for?"
Yeah. It's too early to be smoking weed.
Yeah, you want to go for a walk already? So I answer it, and he goes, "Hey," Ian wants to talk to you. And he gives the phone to Ian, and Ian goes, "Hey man, do you want to interview Sam Sulek on the main stage?"
Yeah.
And I go, when? And he goes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And he go, 20 minutes? I go, I got to check with George. Like, I don't just want to George is the boss of the booth. I want to make sure I
kind of paid for you to be there and, all
George,
that.
What do you think of me going down to the main stage, right now to interview Sam Sulek? And of course, George gives me the thumbs up. He's like, oh, I didn't get a pop. No pop. I didn't say the right word.
You have to say the word also.
Yeah. So he gives me the thumbs up, and I just said, okay, I'll be there in a minute. He said Fuad was really sick, wasn't going to be at the expo that day. He was back in the room really sick, and they needed someone to. Ian goes, I can't do this. I'm not doing this myself. So I raced down there, and we were as far away from the stage as you could get pretty much. We were on the far end of the other hall. So I had to walk all the way around. It was the farthest we could go, and it was packed Saturday at noon. So I'm hurrying to get there, And and Ian goes, hurry up. There's 2,000 people here.
Oh God.
I'm like, oh, okay. Damn. So I get there, and as I pull up, I realize Kevin Levrone is just finishing his seminar. So it's packed because Kevin had the craziest line. He was
More than anybody.
Yeah, Kevin was just killing it there, man. So Kevin's seminar was completely packed.
Yeah.
And I roll up, and I'm like, okay. I go backstage, and Ian's hanging out. Sam shows up. But we had 3 minutes. And then David Bay gave it some microphone and out on stage. It went really well, though. It was good. Got to know Sam a bit. He was a real nice guy. Dusty will say the exact same thing. After talking to him, and I wound up actually having dinner with Sam and Fuad and Ian and Paul and Dean White, that good English pro Dean White. He came for dinner too, and we had a good time. And Sam is just the coolest kid. Anyone that hates on that kid is they're just being a hater. Idiot. Yeah, he's likable. He trains super hard. There was a lot. There's nothing wrong with that kid. He's all good.
I like hearing that. You guys were at the gym at the same time or what? Because I saw a picture with all the mutants, and Paul was there. I think Ian was there, and Sam was there, and you guys were on the same picture together.
That was the post Sunday. Everyone went in. Dino's was closed, so he kind of let us know to just call him when we wanted to head to the gym. Yeah. So he gave us the invite, gave them the invite. We went over there, and the best part about that, and the reason that I connected with Sam quickly was, here it is. I don't know how many expos he's done, but his expos are a different level. He's just jammed the whole time,
instantly,
and
right?
Yeah, and we're in the gym, and Ron, I think, said, how do you feel traveling and being all over the world and doing this? And he goes, I don't know, I don't really feel like I'm traveling. I'm just at the gym like I always would be. He literally thought nothing of it. Yeah. And we're working our way up over doing legs on one side of the gym on the hack squat, and I glance over just in time to see Sam stepping back with 495 for close stance squats, 12, 15 reps.
Hell yeah!
On a Sunday night after an expo,
right, right. Less than perfectly hydrated. Meals are crappy, I'm sure.
That was when I immediately knew. I'm like, oh, he's one of us. It doesn't matter where you are. It's time to train. That's what he came to do, and that was it. So it was pretty sick.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was impressive, man. He went up to 5 plates, and Dino's plates don't all match. So there's that hardcore look.
Don't all weigh the same.
Don't all weigh the same. Don't all match. I look over. He's got an old rusty bar, 5 plates aside, no collars. He's got a big fat bumper plate. One big fat bumper plate in the middle that he puts his heels on, and his heels are touching like this.
Okay.
And he just sinks him, and he just starts repping out, and Dino's yelling at him, "Come on, kid!"
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to get in his camera shot. He's got his tripod set up, and I'm trying to make sure I don't block his camera shot.
You don't bomb him,
We're yelling, and I don't want to bomb the kid, try to get in on there.
There's this boomer in the background.
Yeah.
Around
he just cranks out a set. I think he got at least 10, maybe more. He might have got 12. And then Dino stepped in and spotted him for a couple, and he's like, well, that's legs. You know, he did some extensions in that one big set of squats. He goes, I think that set was 80% of my workout, he said to me.
Nice.
But it was like an all-out set with 5 plates, ass to grass, no knee wraps, just boom, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was, and a Sunday night too, after like 3 days of bullshit, you know, it was impressive. I thought, oh man, there's no noise on this kid's joints yet.
Yeah.
Well, it added another layer of my coolness because I got home and now I also know Sam. So literally, like the kids at the gym, they're like, "So, what's Sam like?" And I'm like, "I don't know, like a guy." What do you say? But it was very. I was like, "Oh, I'm cool again" for like 3 minutes. So
they're like, we don't care about who you are, Dusty. Just that you know Sam now.
He helps me get my wheelchair and you know my walker to get into the gym. So it's really nice of Sam.
I got a bit of that last night when I went to the gym. I got a handful of people. So you were like in the gym at the same time as Sam. What's that like? And I'm like,
I don't know how to answer that.
I should have titled this episode Ron and Dusty meet Sam Sulek. You know, that would have gotten us all the hits.
Definitely have done better.
Yeah.
But there was one good thing when we had a guy that escorted us from the booth to the stage to do our interview thing. And on our way there, because his job is just to get you through, I said, man, it must have been a nightmare to get Sam through this. And he said, yeah, but by far the worst was Kevin Levrone.
Yeah. No kidding. I love that.
He was like, and he said he stopped for everyone all the way there, and it took forever to get there.
Wow.
So it's cool to know that a guy, I mean, he has staying power and he lasts that, you know what I mean? And his line, like Ron said, did not stop.
Yeah, Kevin had a crazy line, man.
I love that. I love seeing that respect, you know?
Yeah. One of the funniest things about Sam was when I interviewed him, I said, you know, you really kept it real. You know, we all know you're making some YouTube money now with the numbers we can see, but you're still wearing your favorite blue hat. And he just laughed and he goes, yeah, truth be told, this just fits my head.
Yeah.
They have a huge head. So
because they got a big head and a lot of hair. Like everyone says, oh, you're still wearing your favorite old hat. And he's like, yeah, I've been given a lot of hats. They just don't fit my head. So, you know, I thought that was funny. He was just as normal as you could be.
That's wild. Everybody's saying that we got a bunch of people on the stream too here. They're all saying that you guys did a great job. So you guys did your own thing too on the stage, Dusty. You were saying that you're going to drag Ron up there unannounced. You said like he didn't have a choice in the matter. You're telling us on the last episode. How did all that go?
Because they asked Mutants like if any of us wanted to do it, and I think Ron was either traveling or in the gym. So I just answered. I said, "Yeah, Ron and I will do that," and he didn't really have an option in the say, so
yeah.
And it was really good though. We went up there and it was actually kind of cool because after we got done, and I thought it went smooth, but nothing over the top. But a lady followed us back to the booth.
Yes,
and apparently something that we said just struck a chord with her because she was new to the gym. And, you know, had been doing well. I shouldn't say new. She'd been doing well at the gym, and she felt like she kind of found herself in the gym over the last however long she's been at it. But she said on her way to the expo, she wasn't really sure if she was going to belong or if she should even come, but she followed through, and then she happened to see our interview and said that it like made her whole weekend, and she understands that she's one of us. And It was really cool to have that because I think it's something that people need to realize in all walks of life is you don't know when you're going to say something that, you know, strikes a chord with someone in a good way and kind of builds them up. I mean, it was cool because she was just in this. And so I actually messaged her after the fact because she shared the photo and just told her, you know, this is what we are as a community. Like,
yeah,
the gym and love this stuff. You are one of us, the end, you know, and you belong everywhere.
I think she was pretty emotional too. It was like a real surprise because, like, you know, Dusty and I just thought, oh, you know, well, like they offered us time slots and we thought, I will take the 11:30 on Sunday slot. You know, it'd be an easy slot. You know, Sunday won't be too, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to worry too much about anything.
Not as much pressure at that point.
Not as much pressure, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't really, you know, we went down there and even David Bay, like when we got there, David Bay said, he goes like, hey guys, there's not a lot of people in the crowd for this Sunday morning.
Yeah.
He's like, but the live stream is killing it. So I'm not going to bother addressing the crowd. I'm not going to go out and like pump up. There's not really much going on in the crowd right now. So, we didn't draw the Sulek crowd.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay.
You think we would have after we hung out with him?
Yeah. But he said the live stream was killing it. Like, they had thousands and thousands of viewers, right, at any point in time. So he said, let's just do this like a talk show, and we'll do it like for the live stream only, mainly. That's what he was doing with most of the interviews. There's only really a few that brought the, people come running for like Lavrones and Sams and those.
I mean, that's pretty much like what we were doing too at the the Arnold, Ohio. It's like we had people stop by and stuff, but it was all for the next week of content that was all going out, and all the people at home. By the way, guys, we did get a lot of people saying they really enjoyed all of that stuff. So
that was the number one comment. Number one comment was, "Hey, the shows last week were awesome. All those shows were awesome."
Cool.
So we were just kind of in the mindset that we just did like a podcast. Yep. And we didn't expect to get this immediate feedback, like
5 minutes later.
Yeah.
And I think she mentioned, Dusty kind of mentioned how one of the girls in one of his daughters there said, I don't just want to look good. I want to be strong. And I think she commented that was like really impactful for her, that, that was her too. Like, she felt that way too. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was a lot. It was really cool. So
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Good moment. Okay. What's the first topic, guys?
Well, I have
these questions, or
I have a bunch. I have a bunch from Patreon. So I let them know. I was like, hey guys, we're doing a live stream. I want you to be there. By the way, shout out to all our audio people who are listening right now, because I also did a little ad as an audio podcast. I dropped it out yesterday and said, hey guys, tune in for the live stream. Normally you guys don't know about this stuff. You don't see it because you're just the audio people don't know that we're doing live streams. So I let them know we have audio people with us right now. They're commenting. And we did get a few from Patreon. If we can knock through those really quick first, that would be awesome. And guys, you guys in the live stream, comment with questions now. We will tackle them. We will get through all of them. What was this place, a restaurant I think you guys went to? Somebody said they saw you. I don't see where it's at now. They said they saw you walking into, what was the name of it? Nemo's or something like that. And we didn't want to bother you.
Nando's?
Nando's. They said, we saw you walking into Nando's. What did you guys order there? I didn't want to bother you, but I saw you go in there.
You went to Nando's like 10 times.
What's Nando's?
It's a chicken
We have them in
place.
Canada. Yeah, it's a chicken place. Yeah, it's like you get like a grilled chicken breast, and you can get like some like really tasty rice or fries, or it's a chicken place. It's I think it's technically supposed to be Portuguese chicken, isn't it, Dusty? Isn't that the angle?
Huh. No, I just walk in and get my good stuff. I got let's see. The last time I went and followed Ron's lead. So we got a chicken breast. I got butterfly chicken breast, then side of chicken thighs, and then I also got chicken wings. I don't want to leave the wings out. I felt like a little bad to only get 2 of the 3, so I got all of them. And then fries, and then spicy rice.
Dusty still eats a lot, man. Like,
I've seen it.
Like, I'm ordering meals, and then Dusty's like ordering 2 meals at every meal.
Yeah,
I only did that when I knew it was Ron's turn to pay. I was like, oh, screw it, let's do it all.
Get all your food in for the day.
Yeah, especially. And I gotta say, another thing that was one of my interesting observations from the weekend, which we fully expected, is Jamie the Giant is now famous.
Oh yeah. Because you're in England now.
He is now. Yes.
What did you witness?
Famous. His line was nonstop.
Okay.
The entire time he was at the Mutant booth. He has his own line that's separate from our line. Because
my gosh.
His line has
It wraps
moms
around.
and little kids and dads and all that. Like he's got like a family line that don't know bodybuilding at all. He's got his own separate line that wraps around the booth.
Wow.
And they look at me and Dusty, and they are just like, they could not care less.
Were you guys gladiators at one time too?
They were gonna let us hold the phone and take a picture, but they didn't think we were capable.
Yeah, they just keep handing their phones to me and Dusty. Can you take a picture? Can you take a picture? Just kidding.
Also, though, to give you an idea of how big of a reach, we go to dinner Saturday night, and as we're walking in, Jamie gets stopped, like walking through the restaurant. Lady pops up out of her seat, wants a picture. No big deal.
That's what
So
I'm
he
talking
does it.
about. Yeah.
But this is where it goes sideways, people. We sit down at the table. We've been sitting there for 5+ minutes, and a lady comes over and she's like, I wouldn't usually bother you, but I don't really care. So I want a picture with Jamie. And she literally overtook our table for 5+ minutes. I was like,
Wow.
frowned upon, but Jamie did it like a champ, and got it handled. But we actually made him switch seats so he wasn't facing towards the rest
people
of the
couldn't
restaurant.
tell.
It was
And I made him
causing too
slouch
much.
down in his chair.
Yeah.
So he didn't look so tall. I was like, this doesn't work. Because you got to remember, like, Jamie's got his little afro haircut.
It's
He's got
hard to hide
tattoos
him.
on his neck.
Yeah.
He's 17 feet tall. Like,
Yeah.
he ain't blending.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, when we walk into a restaurant as a group like that, a lot of heads turn, right? So you get the heads turn, and they observe the group, and then
Yeah.
they turn back.
Yeah.
But now the heads turn, they observe the group, they catch Jamie, and they nudge their wife and point, and their wife nudges the kid and points. And now we don't exist. We're completely uninterested.
In the way.
And Jamie is there, and and they know who he is. And they're like, literally, you can hear people going, that's a giant. That's a giant. And like little kids, it's a giant. And it's pretty funny. We walk out of the restaurant, and we walk right into this big group of drunk guys.
Okay.
They're coming down the street from a pub, right? Big group of younger drunk guys in their 20s, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, when you run into a big group of guys like that, and this is from like 30, 40 feet away. We first come out, and they're like 40 feet away, right? Walking towards us. And you expect maybe someone to notice Jamie, and it sort of like spread. But no, it was like all of them in unison instantly pointed and went, "The giant!" Like, they all instantly recognized him.
You're kidding me.
Like, man, he doesn't have he can't get away with anything. Like, it's not even like, oh, that guy kind of looks big. That might be the giant. No, it's like instant recognition.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
So Jamie's taking pictures of like 15 drunk guys out front of the restaurant. We're all getting in the Uber. Jamie's trapped with this big group of dudes.
I left him.
Yeah, we just left him.
Got in the car. He knows where we're going.
Yeah.
With the drunk guys.
That's funny. I don't forget when we interviewed him at the Ohio Arnold, and he was like, "Yeah, when I'm out with my wife, you know, people don't seem to approach me as much. It's the women. The women are like, wow, he's with that bitch. You know what I mean? They'd rather exactly. You know, they're waiting to get him not with her.
She's got to turn off her RBF though. That's going to be key for his wife. For this to work well, she's going to have to turn off the RBF when they're in public.
What is that? How so? What do you mean?
Face.
Yeah. What do you mean though? I don't. Why?
She needs to look inviting to them because it's key. Like even us when we actually one time we were waiting at Nando's. There was a burger restaurant right in front of it, and these kids looked over, and I saw their faces light up, and they hit their mom, and then they look over, and you could tell they're like, "Oh, I don't know what to do," and we waved them over. So they came out of the restaurant, because the thing is this stuff.
And Dusty were making it worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I see. You were totally instigating the whole thing.
Come on! Was carrying around my. I actually had my ring light just on.
Yeah.
And I was following him. I was like, I don't know why anyone's noticing you, Jamie.
Yeah.
But no, you do have to kind of, because I think the thing is with Jamie, when they meet him, they're going to go to another level of fan because
that's
he's
crazy.
Just an awesome guy. Like it's one thing to meet someone famous and then you meet them and they're like Jamie had to actually be cautious to not over talk with each person, knowing his line would never end.
Okay.
He would spend minutes with each person talking. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at one point, he actually he had to go eat. I mean, it had been hours.
Yeah.
So he goes to the back to eat. And it was funny because I saw these two people who I had met earlier standing there, and they were leaning on one of the tables we have for signing autographs. And I was like, oh, they must just be chilling there. Fine. We're not like slammed or anything. And then Jamie comes out, and I realized they were just waiting for him the whole time.
Wow.
The line ended, and they just waited for like 15, 20 minutes, and then the line just kept going again. So... They meant business, and I'll be honest with you. Like I love Jamie, but I'd rather just meet him at breakfast than wait in a big line. Yeah,
he lifted a lot of moms, lifting.
Yeah,
you're kidding me.
Critical mistake.
That was like a thing.
Mistake.
Critical mistake on day one was he started lifting moms, and So then we told him we had to make up like an insurance excuse to get out of it. Oh, I got in trouble. I can't lift any more moms.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
No more
Say
MILF
something.
lifting. No more MILF
Yeah,
lifting.
no more MILF lifting. He was in the business of lifting MILFs for a little while there. So we saved him.
All right. We can whip through these quickly. These are the ones from Patreon, and I see you guys are starting to comment some questions in the live stream. Keep those going because we're going to get through all of those too. Riley says, and Riley's a client of mine. He says, as coaches, what drawbacks have you noticed with online coaching as opposed to the clients that you get and work with locally? What can online clients do to mitigate these deficiencies? Are there any upshots to coaching someone online versus traditional coaching? P.S. I am incredibly content with my current online coaching agreement, just trying to improve. Thank you, Riley. It was
a little bit of a price break.
Yeah.
But other than that, things are
He's doing really
solid.
good. He's doing really good too.
Yeah.
I don't train anyone not online anymore.
Yeah.
Even locals. So I will tell them, like, you know, you could say hello to me in the gym, but like all of our correspondence is online. It stays that way. So it's just cleaner. So the only thing I'll say that is better is when I can train you, because I can make sure you're going to that place. And the thing that a client can do is provide really good footage of their training so that we can see the range of motion and the intensity of the sets when we ask for it. Because sometimes I'll ask someone for like, oh, can you send me a video? And I'll tell them this is what I want to see. And I get like a video from the hip down, can't see the weight, can't see their face, can't really even see the range of motion. I'm like, this does not help me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I love it online because my downside to in person is how much extra time it takes. Like I really try not to even do phone calls because it'll be a 40-minute conversation for a 3-minute email.
Yeah.
Yeah. Online is extremely efficient if you can just get it motoring. So efficiency is always nice. It saves everyone a lot of headache, you know? Like Dusty said, the more accurate your pictures and your training videos, the better your results will be, because the more your coach will really know. You know, like there's certain people, they've sent me videos, and so I know if they say like my strength is like, you know, my strength was down, I know it was actually down because I've seen them train, and they train like really hard, and I know their effort's extremely high, you know. Whereas other clients, their videos, they'll send me a video and I'll have to reply like, hey, like, was that a warm-up set or was that like a hard set? And then sometimes they're like, oh, that was just I was just showing you my form. And I'm like, well, don't bother with that. Send me a real set. Like, oh, well, I couldn't set my camera up for the real set. I'm like, well, make the effort to, like, figure it out. Like that was, I was watching, I can't remember who it was. It was one of those motivational people that you follow on Instagram, but they had a whole post about figure it out. That was their term. And they're like, everybody wants all the answers. People messaging their coach, oh, I had, you know, this with my oatmeal, and then I sprinkled this in for flavor, and now, you know, my stomach is this and that, and it's like, figure it out. Like, your coach isn't supposed to have all the solutions to every single thing. You know what I mean? You have to figure a bunch of this stuff out yourself, you know? So I like that. Figure it out. But yeah, figure out your camera, figure out your pictures, your videos, make sure the coach knows what's going on, you know?
Yep. I agree with all that. Riley's at that point where he's looking pretty good right now. And he's at that point where he'll include like, hey, I just included a couple extra pictures from when I got a really good pump at the gym. You know, when you're at that point, you know, like the physique is coming along.
You send your updates, but then there's a side chest by the dumbbells.
Exactly. Yeah. He's at that stage. So I would agree, though. I used to coach people. I mean, everything I did initially was in person. And it's because when I started coaching, it was simply because there were people in my gym that were like, hey, you know, what do you do to look like this? How do I do a contest or whatever? And I started helping people locally, and it wasn't for a little while that I actually expanded that to being like, well, okay, I'll do it online. But it is, even the people that I work with locally, they still send pictures online. Like I have people that live, they could come over, they're maybe 30 minutes away, but we do, everything is still online. And I've heard other coaches say that. I would rather, like, say, even the day of a show. Sometimes it's kind of cool. Like, I want to go see somebody's show and sometimes and be able to, like, actually, like, watch them pumping up and all. It's fun. Like, to me, that's rewarding. But I don't need to see that in order to make it work. I can sit in my control center, and as long as you're, like you said, guys, both of you, that if you get the content I need, the pictures, this consistent angles, consistent lighting, all that stuff, then I can do what I need to do on my end.
Yeah. Technically, it's sometimes easier.
I got to tell you too, if I'm talking a lot this episode, I have to tell you that I took a sample of Mind FK, I'm going to call it. I took a half a sample 3 days ago for my workout, and then I got a workout in, did back this morning. I took the other half a sample, and I feel on it.
It's a great product. I'm a big fan. Yeah, I'm a big fan. So yeah, you are especially chipper today, Scott.
I feel like I'm like
happy with that.
Joe
I think
Rogan.
Just excited we were here. Oh, look at that! I just got pictures of Nova sent to me.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. I get my update photos.
Oh.
So these get sent from time to time. Look at her, just out playing. Sorry. Anyways,
How long are you waiting? How much longer you got to wait?
well, we're really pacing it based on the shows and everything too, so that when we're back, so we've got her two shows and then a quick vacay to the Dominican, and then we'll go pick her up.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
About the trip? Yeah, me too. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what you're talking about. My bad.
I don't care about your trip.
That you do too. You want to go?
Yeah.
What else we got, Scott?
All right. Why do high-level competitors always seem to say, we did this or that? I can understand that the coach played a role, but they paid for their services, and I feel like the bodybuilder put in the work. I'm sure y'all see it differently, so interested to hear why I'm wrong.
He's not wrong. There's way too much weed.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. I'll tell you why they do it, because coaches do it.
Coaches do it.
We did it. I'm like, no, I wrote it down, and the person either did it or didn't, because here's the thing I don't like about that. So I have clients that do it, and I have clients that don't do it. I can promise you, we didn't not do it. So I shouldn't be taking credit when we did do it. You know what I mean? It really is up to the client to decide what happens. And clients over-credit coaches, but I think a lot of times it's because other coaches put other things up. I mean, I have people that I love as humans that do that. We did it. And I'm like, you didn't do shit.
I also, like, I have clients that will, like, tag me in their updates. And, like, I've never asked a client to do that. They don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't care if clients tag me in a single thing. Like, they don't have to even mention that I coach them. I don't care. Like, it's their private prep. They can give or keep whatever information about that prep they want to. They don't have to put my name. You know what I mean? I'm on their team. I work for them.
Yes. That's the way I see it too.
Like,
I used to say that about team, because people go, oh, I'm team Handshot. I'm like, actually, I'm team Samantha.
Yeah.
And team Brian and team whoever. Oh, by the way, who just asked about the out of stock? That product is not available in Canada. It's only available in the US, in case anyone's asking.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Throw that in real quick.
Hopefully they'll get. I think they're saying Mind Freak just for, like, the family channels. Okay. So they're saying Mind Freak is hopefully going to be available in Canada soon. They're waiting for Health Canada to approve one of the ingredients.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like
the P one, the one that starts with a P.
Yeah, it's like related to caffeine, but I asked Jim about it, and he had a much better explanation than I could do. So I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's an interesting ingredient, really interesting. But Health Canada hasn't approved it yet, so we got to just wait.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it would have been something else like the Alpha GPC or the Huperzine A or something, but apparently those things are all good to go. Yeah. It is great though, because I'll tell you what, some nootropics I don't like. Like I end up getting a bad headache from them, or it just gets me feeling like jittery. But I'll tell you what, last time I took this, I did my workout, and then I just powered through like all my check-ins. It was very good. It was very good.
Yeah. I was happy with it too because I was using Dusty's. I was taking a full scoop at like 7:00 at night.
Oh God.
To go train.
Yeah.
And then I was still, like able to, sleep, whatever type of sleep you get in the UK. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paige, that's a good point on the I don't think there's nothing like coaches don't mind. Like I don't want that to become wrong. Like when my clients credit us, like I appreciate it. Or if they I tell the clients too, when they if you tag me in your stuff, I'll repost it because I also want to make sure they know I am proud of what they're doing. But it's not a requirement because they're paying. I want to make sure that doesn't get confused. Like Ron was saying, when he says he doesn't care, it's not that it's a negative. It's just that you don't have to. Because there are coaches that's part of the requirement. Like, if you post anything, you have to tag me. You have to put this hashtag. You have to tell everybody my mom's cooler than yours. Whatever thing
They make them put their name in their bio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the bio. Yeah.
Like that to me is just crazy.
You need to finish that word. Good job.
Yeah, I can't. To me, that's just like, wow, that's just another level of like, I can't imagine going there.
It's people wanting like a sense of belonging, I think is what it takes advantage of. A lot of people, they're looking for bodybuilding. It's not really a team sport. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're all getting together in the locker room and, or we're kicking off the football or whatever together. It's like we're doing this all individually. And I think that sometimes people want that, like we're on a team. We all have the same T-shirt. We all have that same jacket. We all go to show, especially the local teams. They all show up wearing their shirts and stuff.
I love that though. What great marketing by the coaches. I have a friend who did that, and he used to ask me questions all the time, dumb questions, because he didn't know shit. And he had a great team of people. They all had their little matching little outfits, and I'd go to the same show and bring like one guy and just demolish everyone, and we'd leave.
Yeah. But I think that's what it takes advantage of is like people wanting that sense of like community. You know what I mean?
So
nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong.
No, it's not a bad. I just want to make sure I knew that. Like, it's not bad at all. Like when our clients do that, I appreciate it. I understand what they're saying. Same thing. I mean, Ron and I are working on Nikki's deal, but at the end of the day, she's the one on the step mill right now while I'm drinking a Sunkist and on a podcast. So
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful when clients say anything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I like if Nikki never mentioned me again in any posts, I wouldn't feel like I got ripped off.
Yeah,
I did my job. She paid me to do a job. We didn't have any agreement about her promoting my name. Right. There was no, like, I didn't say you have to tag me, the photos, like nothing. It was, you know what I mean? So if she does tag me, I'm like, oh, that's nice of you, but I don't expect it.
Yeah.
I always think the reverse too, before we go too long on the subject, but I've had friends of mine who are coaches and their wife or husband want to work with someone else for fun or whatever, and they get offended or worried. Like I've had people say like, oh, wow, you really promote Ron stuff a lot. I'm like, he's doing a great job. Well, you do that too. Yeah. When people reach out to me, the first thing I'll tell them when I send a questionnaire is, this is how I work. If it doesn't line up well with you, let me know what you're looking for. I probably know someone who's very capable of helping you who works different than me. Like if you want someone to hold your hand or, give you the high fives when necessary, I know a guy. It's just not me. And that people are often surprised by that though, because they're like, oh, you would send me somewhere else. I'm like, I don't want a bad relationship with a client anyways. So if I don't fit you, it's all good. Plenty of money out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick on this one. How about this? What are y'all's modalities on cardio and intensity level in prep versus off season?
Well, in prep, I always used a treadmill a lot. That was my main thing for cardio, would be the treadmill by far. Off season, when I was really big, the most cardio I ever did off season was like 30 minutes, 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah. And that was like a lot for me off season. 20 minutes, 3 times a week was more common, just walking was all I ever did off season. And then contest prep, I'd start out with treadmill and I'd try to keep my heart rate in the, 110, 120 range. So as the prep went, I'd have to jack the incline. I'd have to increase the speed a bit. Next thing you know, like by the end of the prep, you're walking as fast as you can on like, you know, an incline 10 or whatever, you know. So I would just dial up the treadmill over time. That's what I used to do. But now I would say that, you know, harder cardio in the beginning when you have more fat on you is like, if you're going to do hard cardio, the safest time to do it is when you're the fattest.
Right.
And you know, once, like, you know, what Meadows kind of said, once your glutes are getting striated, you kind of want to be doing easier cardio, because you're zoning in on where you need to be, and you know, you don't want to pound yourself with like hard intervals when you're you know, striated glutes territory, you know, that sort of thing. So that was kind of the sense that I sort of follow now. The fatter you are, the better hit cardio is, you know, some bike sprints and that sort of thing. So, yeah. I don't know if you guys agree, but that's kind of my vibe.
Nothing to add. It's pretty much exactly the same. I think it's very individual is the only thing I would add. Like my cardio was literally easy always. I never cranked it up. For me, a 7% incline and 3.2 miles an hour with not touching the handles, maxed out at like 45 minutes of cardio like per day ever, like that, and would get sliced. And I got clients that I'm like, okay, how fast can you go? Okay, go a little faster than that. Go.
Yeah.
I
could say that
it just depends.
I was never as big as either of you guys, though I did reach points where I was definitely very uncomfortable at my size, where you notice like, wow, I'm trying to tie my shoes here, and it's a challenge, you know, or putting a seatbelt on or walking up a flight of stairs. If there's one thing I would have done differently, if I could go back, it would have been high intensity cardio in the off season. Not a lot of it, and not for fat loss, but more for cardio conditioning. I could have used that, adding in like a couple sessions per week. Maybe it's 10 minutes of as many sled pushes and pulls as I could do in 10 minutes, resting when necessary, and just trying to make that a challenge. And something like that I found is really helpful for being able to keep that cardio up, so that like you're not going to get gassed under a squat or in a barbell row or whatever, you know.
That Echo bike that's why I bought the Echo bike.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. All I do is 30 seconds all out, and 90 seconds like cruise, just let my oxygen come back. I do that for 3 basically rounds, to where I've done 3 minutes all out and I'm done. And first off, when I say done, I'm talking like lay on the ground done. It's awful. I hate that thing. Dumbest thing I ever bought. Everyone should have one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right. What else do we have here? Oh, we've got a lot in the stream here, so we're going to have to crank through these guys. Okay, we've got a Patreon guy here. Thank you very much. He says, what do you guys think of cycling caffeine intake?
I cycle up and upper.
Up and high, and then higher after that?
Meaning I don't ever pay attention. There's just always lots.
I don't think I ever paid attention. I just sort of always consume around the same, and I paid attention in the sense that I try not to take in too much, you know?
Yeah.
Like I like to have a nice giant cup of coffee. Like this is like a big mug, you know?
Yeah.
So I like to have a nice big coffee for breakfast, and then I usually don't really ingest any more caffeine till like maybe some pre-workout later in the day, you know? I'm pretty conscious. Like if I have a couple of Diet Cokes, I think, okay, I've had a couple of Diet Cokes today. If I'm gonna have another diet soda, it won't be a Diet Coke, because I've already had, you know, pre-workout, 2 Diet Cokes, a giant coffee, you know. So I'll kind of keep track. I know Dusty drinks Monsters, so those pile up pretty quick. You have 2 Monsters, that's 600,
right?
You know. So
I do 1 Monster a day, but now I do less because of Mind FK.
Yeah.
I love when they make a product that I tote enough that people think I'm lying. I'm like, then don't try it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. I wouldn't have mentioned it if I didn't feel that way. In fact, I try not to bother Mutant, but I'm going to bother them and be like, hey, you guys think you could send me something here? I could use some more of this stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
George, he said, so it's not a question, but I have a question for you. He said, George UK says, great job with the Sam Sulek interview, Ron. That seminar was second only to meeting Christmas Cabbage in the flesh. Now, you guys got to meet Christmas Cabbage at the Arnold, Ohio. So he went back and he was with Dave. He was on actually the same plane as Dusty. Dusty might not have known. He was up in first class. He was at the UK Expo. You guys didn't meet Dave by chance. Did you get a chance to?
Yes.
You did meet Dave Crossland.
Dave Crossland came by the booth, and we got a photo with him. And I don't know whose camera it's on.
Oh, son of a
I think
gun.
I have it.
You think you have it?
I'm going to look while you keep talking.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
that was all I had. I wanted to
booth.
know if you guys got to meet Dave.
No, that was my next thing I was going to bring up was that Dave came by the booth and surprised us, and we chatted with him for a bit. He was with a couple other people. They were really nice too, but we definitely took a photo. It exists somewhere in the ether,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure whose camera it's on.
He was slammed too. They do his company Eval. They do blood testing and bloodletting.
Yeah.
Like it's different
he had the
over
shirt
there.
on.
It's
Just
different
sent it
over
to
there
you,
in the.
Scott.
Okay, cool. I'll get it up on the screen here shortly. He just texted me actually. I'll have to see what he says later. Oh, he said is it kidnapping a crime with Christmas cabbage? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll have to read the rest of that message later. But
Just leave us. That one you might not want to read on the air.
Dave
It
with a
sounds
technical
dangerous.
question. Never mind.
But it's cool that I really enjoyed getting to meet him a couple years ago and seeing him in his element over there, because he's really doing a lot of good for the community and helping with like awareness and making sure that people can get their labs and all of that. Anyway, what else do we have here? Ron, best Pantera song to train to. Dusty, I think this is more of a Ron question, but if you've got something, we want to hear it too.
My favorite Pantera song to train to if I have a big set is I'm Broken.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's just that guitar riff that's just the sickest guitar riff. And I just love that album. And when I'm Broken comes on, it's like it's time to like die under the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the sickest riff. I love that Pantera song. If I had to pick one, that's it.
Effing Hostile.
Oh yeah, another great one too.
That'd be my jam.
A real cultural tale, that one.
Yeah.
You know? A real statement on American life.
Yes.
How we roll.
If you could only trade one style of training for the rest of your life, what would it be? Predictably, Dusty votes DC.
I would just do the Dorian split and just train with really good form and safe weights and just keep doing the 4-day rotation. I just love it. It's easy. I recover from it.
Did I lose audio?
That was
I'm
weird.
good.
Just for a second. I
Yeah.
lost it too, but we're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
You know, I can do it like nonstop without extra days off. I can just rotate through that 2-on-1 off forever. And I seem to recover. Yeah.
How about you, Dusty?
Yeah, I would probably just stick with DC.
Would
I
you?
like it. Yeah. That's simple.
How about John Thick? He says it's actually John Thick spelled with what?
Oh, yeah.
Spelled with
John
3
Thick.
CCs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
He says he heard Seth Rossi is thinking of making a comeback to the 212 stage. Out of all the retired bodybuilders, who do you think could make a comeback and do well?
Well, the guys that retired with no real injuries, you know, like Seth, his physique is still completely intact, right? He could, you know, fill back out and probably look unbelievable. Flex Lewis could do the same thing if he wanted to. Yeah, Richard Jones, who's like training ages, like
for sure.
16.
Come
Yeah.
back and ruin people. Can I vote Sass since he hasn't made it back to the stage yet?
Yeah,
Like,
Sass hasn't
genius.
come back yet. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Anyone going to the Detroit Pro?
No, because it's at the same time as FIBO.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same week. Weekend before?
Same weekend.
It's the same weekend, yeah.
Literally the same time.
I had reached out to Fuad a little while back. I told him I'd be happy to do anything I could to support, and if he wanted me to like do any podcasting there, anything like that, let me know. I hadn't heard back yet though, so we'll see. Yeah.
Didn't like you.
There we go. How could you not like Scott?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Nobody
just
doesn't
saying.
like Scott. That'd be ridiculous.
He'll reach out after this show if he likes Scott. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh,
Everybody
okay.
likes
We'll see. We'll see. I invited him out to shoot too. They, I guess he was saying he wanted to do some shooting or something, like go to the range. So I reached out to him. I was like, dude, I've got everything you could possibly think of.
well,
We could both do content and like you could shoot all sorts of fun guns. It's on me. So if he ever wants to come
it'd
out,
be crazy to not take you up on that. That'd be ridiculous.
So that offer still stands. I put that out.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't respond though. How about this one? Any natural subs y'all recommend for a natty guy on a cut?
Oh,
Wow.
I mean, there's a million of supplements that I would recommend. Not even. I mean, protein powder's awesome. Glutamine's great. Creatine's great. Oh, he means things to help him lean down.
Can you help me lean down? Yeah.
I mean, over-the-counter thermogenics. I mean, here, ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin. I just changed your life.
Oh, yes.
There's nothing. Ephedrine and caffeine together. That's a synergistic fat burning. You know, that's old school. We did a lot
I
of
did that instead of Clen my entire career. I never used Clen.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I liked it better. I used Clen for a minute, and I was like, I liked the feel of an ECA better, so I just went back. And actually, when I'd go to Canada, I would load up and then come back. I don't know if that's legal, but anyways, that's what I did. It's in the past. You can't yell at me for that now.
No. ECA. Yeah. Definitely.
What else we got there, Scott?
I was looking at that picture of Dave that you guys took. I'll pull that up.
Yes.
Oh, here's a good one. Is we're talking about guys making a comeback. Justin Compton. How about seeing Justin Compton make a comeback?
Oh, yeah. Justin never had any injuries either, did he? Everything's still attached in the right spot.
I think it was health.
Yeah.
Things might not have been attached on the inside.
Oh, the things he couldn't see.
Right.
Just so
Right.
Hey, Ron, remember watching you at Canada's all those years? I know finishing second all the time would have been frustrating, but in a way, it had to have been a blessing in disguise for your career.
Yep.
We have talked about that some before, haven't we?
Yep.
Good
Hey,
answer,
Terry
Antoine.
Thorpe. Shit. I remember Terry. Terry is a beast, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. Terry had some crazy injuries too, and he still built like a really nuts physique. So it was a freak. I saw him his last couple shows in Alberta there. He looked good. Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise looking back. Like, you know, if I would have turned pro early, like, you know, I had some second places. I mean, my very first Canada's, I was second in 2000. So let's just go back to 2000 and let's just say that, like, you know, someone gets food poisoning in the very early days and I wind up winning a show, you know, because you're one guy away from winning your class, right?
Yep.
Then what? Then I'm a pro in the early 2000s with no way to promote myself, and I just get
And no
smoked
one
at my
knows
first
he's
show,
here.
and no one cares. And then you just do a show, get smoked, and then you just disappear, and that's it, and it's over with. And there's nothing to do, and there's no promotion. You know, there's no Facebook, there's no nothing. Like, that could easily happen to me. I had some 1-point decisions in the early days. I could have won my pro card a little too early and missed that window, and never signed with Mutant. And just all the stuff that happened because I never met Dusty. Yeah. Yeah. I remember Gary Bartlett one time. He's like a Canadian photographer guy. He said to me once, he's like, you know how many people I've seen turn pro at the Canadas and then just go on to do absolutely nothing? And he went, you actually got it way better than those guys, because you stayed an amateur for so long that you were able to pound your name out over and over and over to like everyone in the country. And then when you finally do turn pro, it didn't even matter that you were pro. Everyone knew who you were already by that point. And, you know, it was just a different time. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You've said kind of the same thing, didn't you, Dusty? I mean, I've heard you say that before, that like your amateur career allowed you to really get your name out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just told a client the other day, is getting ready for a pro show, and I said, this is going to sound terrible, but I would love for you to have a great showing and need a little more time, because she's at a point where she could turn pro, but she's not ready to be a pro.
Yeah, that's why everyone's got it
big
backwards.
difference. And I'm like, and I'm not, I mean, we are going to go into her prep trying to win, but I hope that the lineup is of people that are ready to be pro, so she could be in the mix and see where she needs to go. Because for a lot of people, that becomes the end, because it is harder to prep for shows or to spend 3 years in an off season to go to a pro show and take 19th out of 19 versus 4th out of 86, and that kind of keeps you moving forward. And like Ron said, it drives her name out there. I've had multiple clients that I've taken to one pro qualifier and they won, and I'm like, awesome today, not awesome long term.
Yeah, absolutely. That the whole like wanting a pro card right now, because of what I did, where I spent like 15 years as an amateur. I just shake my head. I'm like, they're missing the point. The pro card is going to do absolutely nothing for them. Nothing.
Yeah. Dave Palumbo was a great example of somebody who was very successful in the industry, never had a pro card,
Yeah.
And I mean, he's like cult status. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
Mr. McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Hey, so here's that picture of Dave. Let's see if it comes up here.
Look at that. We're sounding like we're not even in it. It's just of Dave.
Yeah.
Sure.
Look at that. Look
Look how shredded Ron is.
I know. That's what I was about to say.
Out of his head. Scott, I took a picture of Ron from the side when he was talking to someone. I showed it to him.
Yeah.
He didn't even know. I was just taking a photo of how sliced he is standing.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I'm sitting there talking to George. I'm like, move, George. I'm trying to take Ron's picture. He's like, what? I'm like, I want to show him because he doesn't realize. And this was on Sunday. And I told Nikki that you got leaner over the weekend. Because those veins, that was a Saturday picture. And
I saw that too.
Worse by Sunday.
I saw that in Ohio. He was getting leaner and leaner as the weekend went. Like by the end, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a real life thing. I know people are like laughing, but he got harder. I got fatter, which I always do. But I was like, look at me getting fatter while Ron just gets sliced. It's rather impressive.
So you guys met the lady that listened to you talk at this expo. We already talked about her, so you can't use her as this one as your answer here. But Alex Blue says, what was the most memorable encounter each of you had at an expo, person or event?
Oh, wow. Like
You've been to a lot. How about just like a notable one? Because it'd be a lot to ask you of the best ever.
Oh, goodness sakes. There's
Can
been
I
a
use
lot
one
of
that's
those.
not like at an expo, but was on the way to an expo? Does that count? Because I have a really good one. I was on a flight to Germany. Doesn't matter. And Kevin Levrone was sitting right across the aisle from me with somebody he was traveling with. And I saw him and I gave him like the nod. I knew who he was, but that was it. And then during the flight, they brought the food out and I ordered my food. And then Kevin yells over, he goes, "Hey, Dusty." And I turned first, shocked that he knew my name.
Yes.
Yes. And he was like, "Do you want the beef or the chicken? Because she can't have hers. And I know you need more than one." And I was like, why do you know my name and you are my favorite bodybuilder of all time? So that was an awesome moment because I just couldn't. I mean, I was literally stunned. He had any idea who I was, and definitely not on a first name basis. And I got the beef for anyone who's wondering.
I never heard that story.
That reminds me of something that happened to me in England at the hotel.
See?
Like a few years ago, we were sitting in the lobby. We were waiting for our van to come and get us to take us to Heathrow. So we were leaving. And it was like Monday, at like noon, we had a little bit of, you know what I mean? And we're waiting for the van to come and get us. And Dorian Yates is sitting right next to us at a table eating lunch with his daughter and like a few other people.
Yeah. And
so he comes in and we're talking. He's like, I just ate. He's like, we just had lunch downtown and I got to come and have lunch again. He kind of joked and he's like, I don't eat 2 meals back to back anymore. Like, those are the old days, right? So he sat down and we ate and I didn't pay any attention to them because they're having a private conversation. And then all of a sudden, Dorian taps me on the arm. And I look over and Dorian, he goes, "Do you want my salmon? I'm not going to eat it." And he had on his plate, he had like a full fillet of salmon that he hadn't touched. And then he had just eaten his bowl of salad. He's like, I had the salad because I figured I should eat it, but I'm not going to eat this salmon.
That's a good one.
That's awesome.
And I don't really like salmon. Like, I don't really care about salmon at all. So I just said, "Oh man, thank you, but I'm good. I just had a burger," right? I'm like, bah,
Yeah, but if Dorian gives you salmon, I feel like you got to eat the salmon. You know what I'm saying?
Salmon. I would have taken that salmon if I was allergic.
And then for like 3 months that haunted me. I'm like, I should have taken.
I should have eaten the salmon.
I should have eaten the salmon.
His girlfriend at the time left him when she heard that story. She was like, "You didn't take Dorian's salmon?" I'm out of here.
Yeah, he's like super offended. I offered that guy my salmon. He said no. That's the
Yeah.
last time.
He actually told me about that when I saw him last. He's
Yeah.
like, I remember that time Ron didn't take my salmon.
I just
He told me
remember
that
being like,
breakfast on Friday morning. That's why we stepped away there for that minute. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll never forgive Ron for not taking my salmon that time.
I just remember being like shocked.
Yeah.
Like, Dorian just offered me a salmon. That was like, weird. Like it was weird for me. Like I didn't know what to think. Like it was just, but hey, he ordered the salmon and he decided he wasn't. He's like, I'm not eating.
Next time we should order a burger if he wants to give it to you. Have
Yeah,
some
but gonna give me
respect,
food, give me fries.
Yeah. If you said that to him.
You got any fries?
How is this garbage?
Well, that makes my story not nearly as good. When I met John Meadows, he didn't offer me any salmon or any steak.
No.
But he knew who I was, and it blew my mind because I was like, I was kind of nervous because I looked up to him so much. And I only was doing Bodybuilding Nerds Radio at the time, and it was 2015. But we talked about him a bunch, like on a lot of episodes. And I knew that he heard that, but I didn't think he'd like remember who I was, And I was like, hi, John, my name's Scott McNally. It's really nice to meet you. He's like, I know who you are. And I was like, oh my God, John Meadows knows who I am. And I was there with VJ. We got pictures, and it made me feel really good. I was like, holy crap, John knew who I was,
Yeah. You've gotten that response from a lot of people though, Scott. That's a common response for you. You go to introduce yourself to someone and they go, I know who you are.
I don't
I've
expect
heard
them
people
to
say that to you.
You know what I mean? I don't expect
Yeah.
people to know.
Yeah. No, it's good. I like when I hear that. I know who you are. Yeah.
Obviously.
After 1 hour chat crew here. So it's not the last 5 minute crew. It's the after 1 hour chat.
Yeah, I guess with the live show is that you got those different crews.
Hanging in, exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna hang in longer than me. I'll be out here in a minute.
You got to go in a little bit, right, Dusty? Where are you heading?
Yeah, 6 minutes ago, but I'm gonna wait a little longer.
Oh, I don't know if we
start
have
my
anything
appointment
like
without me.
super great to close with. We did have more questions, but man, I feel like.
We could pound
Someone
out
give us a closer. Someone give us a closer. Quick.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys know who
Mary
Eddie
fuck you.
Andrews is?
Who?
Eddie Andrews? Just greetings from London. Views on Eddie Andrews' diet.
Oh, Eddie Abuz.
Yeah, booze.
Oh, a boo.
Easy.
That was
Wow,
my
just
brain was
changing
turning.
words here.
My brain was turning those letters into D's. Who's Eddie Aboo?
no.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a British bodybuilder. I think he's in his 50s, and he's pretty popular on TikTok. And
Went off his rocker a little bit.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I know that he's controversial over there, but I can't remember exactly what his diet is. But I think it was like a ton of eggs and doesn't eat like all animal isn't it all meat, or he cooks stuff in like he eats
I don't
like
remember
weird-
what it is.
weird
but
meats.
To answer the question without even knowing, I don't like anything that people speak in absolutes. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Man,
there's
it's so
absolute.
sellable.
Everyone wants to do that. Like, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I do know I had seen that, and the only thing I ever saw about what he had put up before, I completely disagreed with. So I was like, oh, I guess I don't agree.
Yeah, I know that. Like here, I'm just looking it up here. Oh, he eats like a lot of liver and like
Oh.
bone broth and like I don't know. There's just a big list of foods here. So
Sounds like a lot.
I don't know. Yeah,
You should try Dorian Yates' salmon.
yeah. Should have had the salmon. I'll regret that
I
the rest of
wasn't
my life.
invited. You should.
And how freaky did Sean look in the off season at Dino's?
Oh man, he's impressive. Pulls his when Sean Clarita takes his shirt off, you're like, oh, there's okay. You just sort of like take it. There's that sort of
Well,
minute,
because
yeah.
prior to him taking his shirt off, he looks like my little brother stole one of my shirts. He's running around. And you're like, that doesn't fit you. And then he takes his shirt off and you go, never mind, you can keep the shirt, sir. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah, he was impressive, man. Everyone like Dino made him pose. He got the full Dino treatment. He got
Yeah.
full
Oh, yeah, he
dose,
did.
2 scoops. He got Dino'd right to the brim. First night in the gym, Dino's just screaming at him and yelling at him, and then makes it. Dino comes over. He goes, "Do you think Sean will take his shirt off and hit some poses for the boys?"
Yeah.
And I go, "Well, because some people don't know how to take Dino at first, right? He's a lot for them. They're like, who's this guy?"
But he knows that, huh?
Yeah, but he knows. So,
yeah.
but I said, well, let's give him a minute. Let him wait a little
Warm
while
up.
before you ask him.
Yeah.
Let him warm up. Let him get 4 exercises into his workout, and then he'll get the vibe. And Dino wound up leaning over and asking him, "Hey, hit some poses," and Sean was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." But I don't think he knew what he was
Sean
in
did
for.
not know he was going to tell the entire room to stop what they were doing.
Yeah, I think he just thought he was going to hit some poses for Dino in the mirrors.
Yeah.
But then Dino
Come
does
down
the
to
old
end.
Yeah, Dino stands up. He goes, "Attention, everybody!
You're kidding.
Stop what you're doing. Finish your set." And he just starts talking, and the whole gym, everyone's finishing, and everyone finishes their set, and then he's like, "Everyone come down here. Stop what you're doing. You can do a set another day. Come down here.
Wow.
We've got a 2-time Olympia champion here." And he just starts introducing him. "Sean Clarita, gonna hit some poses for you." And Sean's "Oh, I guess I'm hitting shots for it." Everyone's got their phone out, and it's the whole gym, 60 people.
That's what
yelling.
bodybuilding fans should be. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I love this.
And then Dino's getting him going. He's like, "For every shot I call, you got to blow the roof off this dump," And he's just yelling at everyone. So he yells front double bicep, and he hits the pose, and everyone cheers. And he goes, "Louder than that, front lat spread." And Sean hits the pose, and he just gets him going. And then, the most muscular. And it was just, and then afterwards, Sean was like, "Whoa, that was crazy. I've never had that happen in a gym before." And
I think that was cool. I said to Sean, I said, the people in here will never forget that. And Sean goes, "I'll never forget that."
Wow.
I thought that was a good answer to the situation because it was awesome for him. I mean? Sean's posed for us a million times. You don't really think of it, but it does change everything in that environment where even I was like, this is awesome.
I love that story.
Yeah, you wind up doing things at Dino's there's just certain things that happen at Dino's that won't happen at a normal gym,
Yeah.
Like Dusty's doing his set of hacks and Dino comes over and at the top of the rep, he smacks Dusty on the quad. Just smacks him on the quad. "Why, get back down there, Mr. Hanshaw." And just smacks him in the quad. In the average situation, if someone hit you in the leg, you'd be like, "Don't hit me in the leg." But in that situation, you're like, "Oh, it's Dino's gym. That happens here. And this is just how it goes.
This is what happens." Another rep.
Yeah. Dino's just a special category of his own. He just, Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because everyone gets the dose. He doesn't give a fuck who you are. Sam Sulek walks in the door, he gives it right to him. "Who the hell are you, son?"
He actually yelled at him because Sam he had Sam hitting some shots, and Sam hit a pose, and he kind of took a breath, and he goes, "What are you doing? Get your fat ass into the next shot." And it was on the internet.
Yeah, he goes, "Let's hit some poses, you fat fuck." He's just hilarious. And everyone gets the dose. No one escapes.
Just so everybody knows, because I just happened to look just now, Dino posted Sam's squat set just a few minutes ago. So
did he?
Did.
You guys have to check that out so you can kind of see what we were talking about. And it was 12 on his own with two spotted reps wrong, because I counted.
Oh, it was 12, because we were trying to figure out.
Well, we were a little late to the party because we were finishing up a warm-up set, and then I heard Dino start yelling, so we come over because I know there's either a fire or someone's doing a set. So
what a special experience that had to be, just that whole environment. And you guys got to get invited there after hours. The place wasn't even open, huh?
I've trained there a couple times. One year, Dino picked me up from the hotel and took me there to train legs by myself, and then I went to the airport. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was 2 or 3 years ago. Dino and I trained alone legs one morning early because I had an early flight, and he's like, "I'll pick you up at 5 a.m. if you want, son." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." He's like,
that level of love for bodybuilding, it makes me want to get emotional. So we got to cut this show now. We got to stop this before I start tearing up or something, guys.
Hey, I just sent you the set on Instagram so you can watch it.
All right,
unless you want to pull it up.
I don't. Let's see if we can pull it up here. Yeah, we can do that. Let me see if I can make that happen. I have no preparation.
Watch it live.
Give me just a second here.
Put him on the spot. Good job, Ron. I love this.
Give me just a second.
Let's watch this set. Let's watch this set. The set that,
Oh, you sent it to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. I got to go to Instagram then. We're working on it. That was a good closer, that question, but this will be very good too. Thank you guys for hanging with us and waiting for me. Here we go. And get back here and go to this. There we go.
Yeah, let's watch his set. This will be the closer. We'll watch Sam do the set from Dino's. You can hear us yelling at him. We're, you know.
Remember, this gym's empty.
Strong, mate. Go. Here we go. Oh, shit. Here we go. All day long, mate. Strong as fuck. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
5 plates. No
Keep
problem.
going, mate. Beautiful. Strong, mate. Strong as fuck, Sam. Beautiful, mate. Come on, man. You're going to get this day again, mate. Let's go. Come on, in. Come on. Come on, in. Strong it up. Yeah. Nice. Come on, in.
Bending bars. You hear me? Bending bars.
Come on, yeah. Okay, let's go. Come on, in. Come on, Dino's on. Go. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Oh, do that. Oh, hello, George. Come on, your legs are so close. Fuck, dude. Fuck me. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was just the average Sunday at Dino's after the expo. You just never know who's going to be in there tearing it up. So, yeah, we had a great trip. Great to be back. We are going to plead the case to Mutant that we need you at that expo next year, buddy, and we need to be doing some live episodes from that expo's booth.
I would love to be there. So, absolutely.
All that gear you hauled all the way to Columbus, you might have to haul all that shit
a little further.
To a little further than that. Yeah. So we're gonna have to discuss the logistics. But we were surprised how many people were like, "Where's Scott? Why aren't you doing?" Cool. Like they sort of just expected it. They're like, "Where's the podcast? You guys are set up?" I'm like, no, we're not. They're like, "Oh, like." Yeah, they wanted it so
immediately.
I love that, and I want to say then thank you to everybody who missed me. And it means a lot. It really does. Like it kind of blows my mind to hear it. You know what I mean? But like I said, Northern UK, those are my people because we all kind of have that same screw loose in our heads when it comes to training.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. Remember, IamMutant.com. Dusty 20, Big Ron 20. Get your all in, get your ISO surge. Everyone should get on the gear. And the new Mind Freak
should be on the Mind FK.
Yeah, the Mind FK. All the Americans should be on that. And we will get in Canada soon, hopefully. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
Absolutely. Remember the Think Big Patreon. Keep a producer homed. We really appreciate all you guys and everything you do to support the show. Thanks for tuning in live. You know, we couldn't do the Monday show. We were traveling. So it's great to be able to get it out. The Jay Cutler Reacts video is killing it. So make sure you catch it if you haven't already seen it. Thanks, everybody. And remember, it's just bodybuilding.